Alright. So a couple of days ago, right? We talked about the Infinity Nikki drama, if you guys are not aware. But basically, if you guys are not aware, the drama, to summarize it, is like they released this patch that supposedly was one of the most anticipated patch ever, but it was quite a disaster, right? So they increased the PT in one of the dress, right? That one is like kind of like insane. Also, like there were bugs in the co-op. Also, plenty of weird things happening all over the place. Now players were not happy. I think I've made like two videos about it, right? If you are interested to look more into it, because like the details are all over the place, right? But definitely Infinity Nikki is going to be something that I think the game has a lot of potential, and I feel like this is going to be one of the few gacha games that outside of Love and Deep Space that caters towards the female demographic. Now sure, there are some dudes that play this game, right? We cannot deny that as a whole, but let's just not pretend that it's mostly just going to be girls that play the game. Oh, also there's one more thing that this one, right? Apparently some players log in to a gem debt in their particular account. Like I can't imagine, like if any game I log in, I got like minus 5,000 gem debt in my account, I probably would just quit the next day, right? Because like what happened, right? Obviously it's a bug and stuff like that do be happening. And so far, let me see if I can show you guys. The developers has made a response, right? If you guys are not aware, developers have made a response and they have came out and be like all over the place and say, okay, we're going to try to fix things, etc. They are extending the next version, the current version as well, so that the next version is going to be better. Last week, 3 days ago, I received an email. Alright, I received an email right here, as you can see. This is the content of the email, right? Legal action against Info Games for Infinity Nikki. Hello, GuitarRock Gaming. I've watched your Infinity Nikki content videos about the 1.5 update, and I thought you would be a good person to reach out to spread the word about this post made in the Infinity Nikki unofficial Reddit. Okay, this is unofficial, right? Because if you are to post this in the official Reddit, the mods are going to delete it. Evidence will always be deleted. I believe having content creators address this will help get the word out, so we consumers or players can take action against Info for their anti-consumer practices. Thank you for taking the time to read this. Hopefully you do, and thank you if you do decide to address this in a video. Have a nice evening. Okay, now this video is not messing around. And I mean it seriously, like it's not messing around. Alright, if you guys were to see this video, you'll be like, wow, this is... I mean the post is not messing around. It's like kind of insane. But just to give you guys a perspective or an idea, right now, this is the latest one. No, not this one. April 25. Let's have a look at the latest one. The latest one. Are people still mad, right? I want to try and collectively see. Most of your player base are adults. Even if this post was directed at kids, the game is like PG-13. What is this? They're asking people to draw that. Not everyone complaining. They did a lot of stuff, but this is cute. Yeah, I think like the last time I checked, people were still really mad. Okay, I can't get the rewards. Okay, can someone explain what happened to the game? You gotta fix your game before we give you streams. Is there ever going to be a fix? I find it funny that you advertise the paid clothes but not the hair. Fix your game. A journey born from the end of your game if things don't change soon. Keep boycotting until the end. So you can see a lot of people are still mad. A lot of people are still mad. Your game is imploding. Sure, nice little song you have a good song, but your game, fix your game. Hire better screenwriter. Add mercy system to gacha, which is I think like a PT system. So you can see, people are still mad. People are not happy, alright? So here's the thing. The Reddit post that was sent to me, alright, that was linked to me, this particular Reddit post right here, okay? Let me show you guys. A list of the illegal practices of Info and where to report them. TLDR at the bottom. Now, we are not messing around, alright? These people, they are not messing around. Okay, you think they are here to mess around? Think again. If you think this is like another hashtag boycott Hoyoverse, think again. Nobody is messing around right here. This is a serious stuff. Okay? They are teaching you bad business, reporting to the FTC government, report fraud. Report to the ECCnet.eu, consumer rights, how to enforce consumer rights in Europe. Report to Apple, Google, report problem at apple.com, report to support.google.com. Alright, this is a lot of things. This is a lot of things, right? Players are actually not happy. Now a lot of girl gamers, they not be messing around, alright? So never treat girl gamers as second-hand citizens. This what be happening, alright? So as you can see, a lot of this stuff, alright? There could be more violations, but these are the most obvious ones that I've seen. If you live somewhere beside the US and or the European Union, I'd love to help you find laws and reporting centers for your area. Let me know. This is so long, I want to be specific as possible. So let's talk about the big stuff, the big difference, right? Starting with the $50 mark down to a generous $9.99 bathtub. So there's a now you guys know like how there's like some package that they give you, they show you like this one is like 3000% value. So there's one item in the game that has like I don't know how many 1000% value, $50 stuff but marked down to a $10 bathtub. Many other things in the store have been similarly advertised, not quite as egregiously. So in the US National FTC Regulations, Section 5 of the FTC Act of 1914 says the unfair or deceptive acts or practices in or affecting commerce are hereby declared unlawful. This is very broad, but then you have the FTC guides that go into what that means. Alright, so as you can see, this is kind of a serious stuff. Serious. So even for EU, right, this violates Article 6 of the Unfair Commercial Practices Directive. Article 6 states that a commercial practice shall be regarded as misleading if it contains false information and is therefore untruthful, or in any way, including overall presentation, deceives or is likely to deceive the average consumer. So you can see EU protections and also US protections. Okay, so this is like some serious heavy stuff, right? What else? It also violates the 2022 Omnibus Directive stating that businesses must show the lowest price applied in 30 days. Okay. Every gacha wants to develop more for CN. So that's one of the issue there, okay? Next, they have a daily gem package issue. As seen today, when they have asked for a refund for their daily gems, as they were unable to access the game, info stated that they should play the game on another device and that this was on them. However, some people don't have another device to play on. I know that my iPhone 13 cannot run the game. Wait, daily gem package issue when they were asked for a refund for their daily gems because they cannot access the game. Okay, so if you guys are not aware, right? I'm sure everybody here knows. You play like Honkai Star Rail. You play like Zenless Zone Zero. You buy the package that gives you the every single day you get the monthly, right? You buy the monthly. Every single day you log in, they give you the stuff, right? The Welkin Moon or whatever. But right now there are some players that are unable to log in. Right, literally some players are not able to log in to the game right now. And they send to customer support asking info for, to give them refund and stuff. They say, okay, how do you log into another phone? How about you just log in? How about you just buy one more phone? Buy one more phone and just play on another phone then. Of course that's the solution. That's the best solution. If you cannot log in, you just buy another phone. Like, it's not that difficult, right? Just have two phones, right? I think most people here have two phones, right? I'm sure most of you guys have two phones. Some of you guys have three phones. iPhone 13 can't run the game. Crazy unoptimized. Yeah, it's probably going. I mean, it probably struggle. It probably going to have some issues here and there. I don't think it's like you cannot run the game, right? With this response to their failure violates Section 5 and the FTC mail, internet or telephone rule. So this response literally violates Section 5, alright? We're not messing around here. You cannot respond like that. If a product or service cannot be delivered on time, the seller must notify the buyer of the delay, offer a refund, or get consent to delay further and issue a refund automatically if the buyer doesn't agree to the delay. Not being able to get into the game to claim a paid service constitutes a delay in promised goods. Do you guys agree or not? I don't think I've seen any other game that failed to give you the So it's not even they failed to give you the monthly, you cannot play the game right now, right? You just can't play the game, you can't log in right now. There's login issues. Honestly, be some low-key investor speedrun to EOS challenge. Wow, speedrun to EOS. Your iPhone 14 Pro can run all gachas at 120 FPS with low medium settings. Must be insanely unoptimized. I mean, I think you mentioned that low to medium settings, so that means maybe low and medium, maybe low settings can be, right? But yeah, it is going to be an issue. So again, in the EU, there's also this particular one. So the daily gems constitute a contract by info with the player, right? So when you log in every single day, you're supposed to get the daily gems. By releasing an update making the game unplayable on the player's device, Info violates this law by not making the game remain functional throughout the contract duration. So I do agree with this, right? What do you guys think? I do agree with this because, like, obviously you have to make sure that, you know, your service is constantly running because people are paying. This is the same with anything, right? It's the same with I think it's the same with Netflix. So imagine you pay for Netflix, but Netflix server is down for 10 days. So you cannot watch Netflix for 10 days. I think most people would be like, okay, I want to be compensated or refunded somehow because I paid for this, but it applies to any sort of like service that you pay for, right? That's like a continuous service. Because if it's going to go down, unless they tell you it, I think the correct way to do is unless they tell you in advance, okay, we are going to have a service down for the maintenance for the how many hours, then that's fair. But in most cases, it shouldn't be the case. They have to like try to make sure that it doesn't go down, right? Additionally, Info has violated Article 13, remedy for failure to supply, and Article 16.1. Article 13 states that when the trader has failed to supply the digital content or digital service in accordance with Article 5, the consumer shall call upon the trader to supply the digital content or digital service. If the trader then fails to supply it, or within an additional period of time, as expressly agreed to by the parties, the consumer shall be entitled to terminate the contract. Wow. Okay, let's talk about the last one then, right? So finally, okay, this is the most important one. Gacha developers don't give an Fs. They have to though. They have to, right? If you're running the service in certain part of the world, you have to comply with the rules there. Finally, we have the allegations of hidden drop rates related to accessories versus main pieces. Okay, so hair, dress, wings. In early April, a data miner discovered code in the game related to drop rates for outfit pieces, which are not stated in the publicly available drop rates. At the time, these were the unstated drop rates for 1.4. 5-star sets, hairstyle 4.1%, okay, you can see, right? And then 4-star sets, hairstyle is 4.29, 4.29, 10, 10, 14.2. Okay, so very, very interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the US, this violates Section 5 and specifically the .com disclosure guides. In this guide, Info violates the clear and conspicuous disclosure section. Both Apple and Google require percentage disclosures in their App Store policies, meaning that hidden drop rates directly violate these platforms' TOS. Sadly, as much as I would like to agree with them, you can't really... it's hard to prove that, right? Because if you use data mine, if you try to use data mine as like a source or like a way to sue them, I feel like it's not going to be like, there's gotta be a better way. Because I'm not sure if that counts, right? It's going to be like a little bit more complex. While researching this, I thought that Europe had a specific law that required gacha rates to be disclosed. However, it seems that this mostly applies to South Korea and China. I'm unsure if this applies to their version of the game. If anyone from there has seen similar code allegations, let me know. So as you can see, there's multiple different sources here and there. Okay. The company probably has something in their TOS that they can't be sued. Maybe, right? Maybe you're right. So it's going to be a separate stuff for sure. So TLDR, the false discount pricing. Alright, again, this one. Daily gem packages unusable due to unplayable update. Okay. Hidden drop rate, weighting, accessories more likely than dresses or hair. Okay, so these are the three things pretty much. Yeah, I'm not. It's quite difficult to sue because like you also have to look into the terms and I understand that you have to look into the company's terms and surveys as well, right? And it's going to be like very difficult sometimes. Illegally source proof. Yeah, where's the proof? The proof is I stole this from the company via illegal methods, right? TOS burn in front of the law. I'm not sure. I think it depends on what it is, right? And also depends on the country. There might be certain things that yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not a lawyer, right? Because I'm not a lawyer, so I can't really say stuff like this as a whole. But there's going to be, can you actually, like, are you able to actually sue them, right? Because like, I've never seen any gacha players sue the company. Because like, if this is something that you can do easily, wouldn't we have seen some sort of case already that's happened? We haven't seen this in China. We haven't seen this in, all we have seen is truck protests. Truck protests in South Korea. We have never seen like actual lawsuit. Even the Maple Story lawsuit, I don't think it has happened yet. It's like a lot of players get together, try to sue Nexon. But yeah, that one, like, I'm not sure if it will go through or not, right? But I do think that it's going to be a very complex one, right? Company TOC and policies are supposedly to comply with the law. Yeah, most likely, right? But you have to look at it in itself. But damn, that's what it is. But for now, these are the illegal practices. I'm sure there's going to be more that comes out and resurface. There'll be more that we'll have to look at later on. But a lot of players are not happy, man. A lot of players are just not happy with this particular Infinity Nikki stuff. This apology isn't for us. Wow. Girl caught, boycott. Wait, that was... No shame if you are still playing. A lot of us generally love the game. But let's be honest, this apology isn't really accountability. It's a polished PR meant to calm the backlash and stall us. Stalling. Apology is all about stalling. It's never about solving the problem. It's about stalling, right? Just like with Shift Up apology. Just like with Nexon apology. Just like with anything. But hey, that's what it is, right?